Hi, what's up, YouTube? This is Mike. Come back at you. Uh, it's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I had to think for a minute. It's Tuesday afternoon over here in Cambodia. I just kind of lost track of the days, man. Sometimes when you're retired, you do that, and when you don't really have a lot going on today, I didn't really not have a lot going on. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't ride my bike. I just kind of didn't really do a whole lot. Just kind of piddled around the house. I put together a few of my CVs, resumes, whatever. I got my cover sheet and my actual CV itself. I stapled those together. That is about all I did. I made a couple videos this morning for my shorts, but other than that, that's really all I did today. And you guys can live the same way, man. Well, maybe some of you can't. Well, some of you probably already do, but you're getting your little $700-800 a month from the government, whatever you guys get on that SSI stuff or whatever that stuff over there is, or doing your sitting around smoking your weed, man, really doing nothing, I guess, all day with your life. But I don't do those kind of things. Usually I stay pretty busy, and tomorrow I'm going to go out searching for, like I said, for a teaching job. I'm going to have to go into the city. Out here where I live at, in the suburbs or on the outskirts of the city, I live around a whole bunch of poor-ass villages. And I mean, when I say poor, if you guys look at any of my videos, you're gonna see what I'm talking about, man. It's just, I mean, just poverty everywhere. The subdivision I live in is nice, but you get outside this subdivision, and until you get to another subdivision, which they got them kind of scattered around out here, it's just straight up poverty, man. It's just people got cows and chickens, and it's not like old MacDonald had a farm kind of shit. It's just, I'm so damn poor, I got to raise cows so I can have something to eat, or chickens or pigs or whatever the hell they're raising. And most of these people don't even have lawns or cement driveway. No, they just have dirt. They build their houses up on these like wooden piers and stuff up off the ground. They do that for a couple of different reasons. Number one, of the rainy season over here where I live at, we have really good drainage. They built the land up pretty good before they put the subdivision in, and we have a lot of drainage outside. So I mean, it can rain so hard you ain't ever seen so hard in your life, and within maybe 20 minutes, if it stopped raining, there's hardly any water left on the street. So, anyways, when you live out in an area like this, a lot of poverty. Some of the schools, they call them private schools. They have public schools over here, but the public schools, because the country's so poor, is they're put 50, 60 students in a class. Okay, that's one of the problems with their education system over here, is when you have 50 or 60 students in a class and they're sitting on the floor and all kinds of shit, it's probably going to be probably not the best education. Okay, so a lot of people put their children in these private schools, and they're all over the place. Some of these private schools, like the one my daughter goes to, is really nice. It's expensive for over here. For the USA, it's not expensive. It's like $5,000 a year. But some of these private schools that they have around here, around these villages, they charge the mom or your daddy or the student, when they come, they get to pay every day. And it's 10,000 real a day. And that sounds, oh my God, that's only $2.50. Okay, 10,000 real, which is a real is one of their dollars. So it's for 10,000 real, that's $2.50, and they can pay daily, because that's how they make their living. They just live hand to mouth, day to day. Maybe they sell corn. Sometimes the student ain't got the money. They don't go to school that day. Okay, so that's the kind of situation out here. And like I said, there are some schools. The one I taught at for 3 years, for out here, was a decent school. The behavior of the children was actually what caused me to not go back. I stopped teaching because I needed to go to the USA, but I could go back over there and go teach again. But the behavior of the children out here is the same as the behavior of the children in the inner cities. Okay? Except for without the guns. They don't have the guns and the violence out here. But the children just run around. The parents just let them run around, just do whatever the hell they want to do. So they go to school and they do the same thing. Okay? Like I said, when I was teaching at the other school, I spent more time telling the children to stop playing probably than I actually did teaching. Okay? And, when you got your back turned to the students and you're writing on the whiteboard and the teacher assistant, she's back there, she's grading their homework from the night before, and they're throwing bottles at each other and writing on, using a correction pen and writing all over the desk. It just, like I said, it was mostly a behavior problem that they had. And I just, like I said, when I handed in my resignation, they asked me, was I coming back? And I said, no, I don't think I am. So, anyways, like I said, I was going to do that today, but it didn't happen. I got a case of the lazies today. I guess when you get 67 years old, man, sometimes you get that. Just a real quick thing on this scam deal. I've been talking to this young lady, or this person. I don't even know who she is now. And she kind of had me believing I was talking to the real Angelina Jolie. Okay? But I started seeing some inconsistencies in her story, right? Because the real Angelina Jolie has a Cambodian passport and was actually in the country. And I was getting messages from this girl who is pretending to be Angelina Jolie. Okay? And I've been talking to her for, I don't know, maybe a couple months. She's never asked me for anything. We've just kind of chatted back and forth, and I told her what I did, and she told me she was into making the movies. She's too old now, and all this other gossip stuff. And I'd asked her one time, I said, well, why are you talking to some old white guy who lives in Cambodia? What would possess you to do that? What possess you to take up your time? And she said, well, it feels nice to talk to somebody that she said she'd watched a few of my videos, and she knows I don't really talk about anybody's names. So she said it felt nice to be able to share things with me that on chats that I wouldn't share with other people. And even though I know now she's not Angelina Jolie, I'm not going to share anything that she shared with me, because it's just, I told her I wouldn't, and I'm not going to. So, but I will use the name because I questioned her about she's in Cambodia. Why didn't she let me know? Because I would have went to go see her wherever she was staying at. I'm sure she would have had security, but she could have told him, hey, I've been talking to this guy for the last few months. And you can go ahead and let him in. I just wanted to say hello to you. I'd have been in and out of there. I told her, I said, I'd have been in and out of there in 2 or 3 minutes. I'd have stayed longer if you wanted me to, but I understand you're busy. I just wanted to say hello and thank you for chatting with me. But she put a question mark. She put like a couple question marks in the chat area. And so I said, well, you're in Cambodia, because I'm watching it on the news. I see it on the news over here. And she said, no, I'm back now. And okay, right then and there, because I knew that I was watching her on the news. Okay? So I let it go. I didn't say anything. So then she wanted me to start investing in this Movina, Monavi, or what, I don't know, some kind of investment deal where she would, if I invested $5,000, within 24 hours, I could have back up to 9,000, and then, and if I left it in there, I could, if I put in more, I could get back more. And she left like a screenshot of this thing, and I took that screenshot that she sent me, and I ran it through an AI program that I have, and it said it was it was fake. It was a layered screenshot. Okay, and I don't know what you guys know, but this AI thing, you can layer stuff on there, and it was a fake screenshot. Okay, so I sent her back a message telling her I knew it was fake and I knew she was fake. Okay? And then I reported her to Telegram because that's where I was speaking to her at, was on Telegram. So if you see, or if you're dealing with somebody that will send you pictures and tell you that she's the real Angelina Jolie, I'm pretty doubtful of it, because up until that time, I hadn't really Googled her because I'm not into the movie star thing. I couldn't tell you the name of a current movie star or a pop star or a football star in the country. I'm not into all these superstars, man. I don't care what they do. It's not important to me. It does have no effect on my life whatsoever. I seldom even watch TV, to be honest with you. But anyways, I started kind of looking into it a little bit more, and come to find out she almost has a zero social media presence. Okay, so and I asked old ChatGPT about her having a Telegram account, and they said it was almost impossible for her to have a Telegram account because she was so anti-social media that she would not have be doing that. So anyways, I reported her to Telegram. I sent all her little messages for wanting me to invest in this fake company. This company that she wanted me to invest in. I looked it up, and I'm pretty good on the investment, on the stock thing. I'm pretty good, and it's a fake company. It doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist on the New York. It doesn't exist anywhere. So she was telling me it's her movie company and blah blah blah. Anyways, so when I ran that screenshot through my AI generator, and I checked it out, they told me it was layered. Okay, and once I started learning about this layering thing, I did some stuff that I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I did some stuff that it wasn't anything illegal or anything like that. But I'm not going to share what I did. But I learned about this layering myself, and I got pretty damn good at it pretty fast. So it's called layering on AI, and I'm just going to leave it at that. If you want to do it, like I said, I would never do nothing illegal. I don't want no problem with no police. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I don't want to have none of that kind of crap going on in my life, man. For me, people that live like that, they live in that constant fear of having the police come knocking at your door, man. I don't know how they can live like that. So anyways, if you get something from one of these movie stars, especially if the name is Angelina Jolie, it's not real. Okay? It's just a scam. And like I said, it took quite a while before she actually started asking me for some money to invest. And I told my wife, I said, look, I'm looking right now. Angelina Jolie is worth around between 120 and 130 million dollars. That was what Google said. So let's just call it 100 million. Why would she be asking somebody like me to invest in one of her movies? Okay, she got enough people there that in Hollywood or wherever she wanted to, if she wanted to invest, she wanted to make a movie. She was looking for investors. She was looking for an idiot, and I was a little bit smarter than her. So, girl, if you're watching this, you had me fooled there for a little bit, but I wasn't going to send you no money. Okay, that just wasn't going to happen. So you wasted all that time sending me all those messages for nothing. You didn't get nothing out of it. So, anyways, and if you guys can hit like and subscribe, I always wait till the end to say that. I don't want you guys to think that. It's important to me to hit for you guys to watch and stuff. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I'll holler at you later. I got my solar light on over here, man. I don't have one of those round lights. They got those round lights people put up here. It encompasses their face, man. I guess it makes them look younger or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have one of those presidential microphones. The ones that look like a, what. So, yeah, I don't want to put my mouth that close to something that looks like that. If you guys know what I'm talking about. That's kind of an adult thing. So if you're a child, you're going to have to ask Mommy and Daddy about that one. All right, bye.